Hey, what's up guys, Benny here, and welcome to the top 5 best loadouts that you need to be using in Warzone Season 1 Reloaded, which has brought with it the Champions Quest, so you can get a nuke if you win 5 games in a row or 30 wins in a total season. But the first loadout that you want to be running is actually one that we've been loving a lot recently, and it is the Ram 7 Iron Sights. So with that build, you want the Casus Break to eliminate that horizontal recoil. You've then got the Cronin Headwind Long Barrel for that bullet velocity, aiming idle sway, and firing aim stability. The Bruin Heavy Support to help you with that recoil. The 60 round drum so you can take out multiple opponents, especially important in modes like trios and quads. And then the HVS 3.4 pad for more gun kick control and recoil control. This thing's just an absolute laser and so much fun to use. But the gun paired with this is the WSP Swarm, which we were all expecting to receive a nerf in the Season 1 Reloaded update, but somehow it's just not been touched. They have said in the patch notes that it will be adjusted in the future, so we might have just another week of swarm dominance. But we've got the Lucreta compensator there for the muzzle to eliminate that horizontal recoil. You've got the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel. You've then got the Bruin Heavy Support grip, the 100 round mag, which is kind of what makes this thing so broken. You can just take out complete squads without much problem, and then the FSS Fortress Heavy Stock. I know a lot of us have our builds for this already, but that's the one that I've been using on both Urzikstan and Vondel, so hope it helps. Then my tactical and lethal setup: smoke grenades, throwing knives. Then the perks, we've got double time, Mountaineer. If you're not running Mountaineer yet, especially on Resurgence, you're missing out. Tempered, and then Flex, so I can hear footsteps as clearly as possible, even though audio still somehow doesn't work. Also, if you are new here, please take a second to hit that subscribe button as we move onto our second best loadout, and it is the SVA 545. A lot of assault rifles haven't been touched at all. All the LMGs got hit in the patch notes, so they've been brought down to kind of come on level playing fields with the assault rifles. And my personal best kill game in this Warzone so far is 56 using the SVA 545. This thing is ridiculous. If you turn it to single fire and you effectively just tap your trigger really quickly, you've got one of the fastest time to kills in the game because of the hyperburst feature. It is ridiculous. You got the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor. You've then got the STV Precision Barrel. We've then got the high grain rounds for the bullet velocity and damage range. You've got the 45 round mag, and then the NIDA Model 2023 optic. You can of course change this to whatever you like. I know a load of people have different preferences. I just really like the NIDA model, but also the KR Mini Tech Riser, if you haven't used it yet, is really clean as well. But paired with that, we've got the Striker, which I'm actually expecting to become the go-to SMG. Like, the mobility on this thing is ridiculous. I've got to quickly show it to you. Just like, you are so fast and it's got such a good time to kill. Obviously, you've got the iron sights, which isn't as clean. You can go ahead and use an optic if you want to. But the build that I run is the Bruin Cubic Comp muzzle, which eliminates that horizontal recoil by a lot. Also, vertical recoil gun kick. And when you're pairing that with no stock, which is like how you get the fastest movement speed, the Bruin Cubic Comp kind of negates all the negatives of that. So it's why it's got so good mobility. They got the 48 round mag, the DR6 hand stop, and the Striker Stubby Barrel. If you want to run a optic, get rid of the hand stop and put an optic on. But this is the build that I've been running, especially on Vondel. It's just super clean, like fighting in the stairwells and on rooftops, and you can just escape people so easily. Now we've got our loadout, which have had the biggest buffs with Season 1 Reloaded. We've got the Holger 556, which is an iron sight build. It's had its max damage increase, so it's actually pretty darn good. The only downside is, of course, the max mag size that you can have is 40 rounds, so it might be best for trios. Quads, you might struggle a little bit. But we've got the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor, the Kairos 6 Match Barrel, the Bruin Heavy Support grip, and then the Morn 20 grip, just to make it as much of a laser as possible. And as you can kind of see, it's got a really clean iron sight. Like, I really like these iron sights, and like with that new max damage point with the multiplier for headshots, it's ridiculous. But also with it, we've got the AMR9. Now there was actually a point towards the end of like the original season that the AMR9 had one of the fastest time to kill potentials, and it has been buffed with this season. So we go with a similar sort of build to the Striker, so it's incredibly mobile. Bruin Cubic Comp, the DR6 hand stop, the 50 round mag, the NIDA Model 2023 optic, the Demo D50 buffer, just to give us that sprint fire, ADS, aim walking speed, so you're super quick. And of course, like, there is going to be an argument of, do we do the same thing and put the 100 round drum on it? So we've been doing the same thing that we've been doing with the Swarm, but I'll quickly show you just so you can see it. But super clean, like really easy to use. Obviously, Has a little bit more range compared to some of the other SMGs as well. So a great sniper support SMG. And yeah, I'm just going to think we're going to start seeing this used a lot more. And finally, the ground loot is pretty good as well. Then we have got our next two weapons. Now, the Pulemyot was not nerfed anywhere near as much as I was expecting it to, because 100 rounds just make it so handy. But we've got the TYR LR8 muzzle on there for horizontal and gun kick control. Demo TL20 recoil grip. You've then got the Command D15 recoil reduction pad, Choreo Eagle Eye, and of course that Jack Annihilator bullpup kit. It has been nerfed a little bit. It's not as dominant as it was, though it is still very much in the game's meta. Then we've got the Lockwood 680, which has been my shotgun of choice. This is so much fun to use, especially on Resurgence. Great mobility. 2 shots to kill. I was kind of expecting shotguns to get hit a little bit because the Haymaker as well is a great shotgun option, but I prefer the Lockwood. So you've got the Bryson Choke, the Bryson Hammer Forged Long Barrel, the VLK Laser 7MW, the Sword Off mod, and then the Demo X40 Tactical Pump. To wrap it off, smoke grenades, frags, and then also our final loadout includes the Cat AMR Sniper. It has had quite a lot of nerfs with Season 1 Reloaded, but not to its one-shot damage potential. It's more that it's dropped the bullet velocity down. So now those really long shots are harder to hit. So it's a bigger skill gap to be able to get those one-shot snipes. Not going to make as much of a difference in Vondel because the ranges are quite close still. But when you're trying to cross-map someone on Urzikstan, it's not as good as it once was, which is, I think, a great kind of addition, to be honest. But we've got the Sonic Suppressor XL for the muzzle, the Zang 34 barrel, the Spire Point rounds, the Epithermal Quick Bolt, and the tactical stock pad. And then with that, I've got the WSP-9, which is another great all-round SMG. We've got the WSP Infiltrator integrated. It means that you stay off the radar. The XRK Edge BW4 handstock for the underbarrel, the 50-round mag, Slimline Pro. You can, of course, use the NIDA as well, and the WSP factory stock to wrap it all up. And, of course, whilst it's still here, the MTZ Interceptor, Spiritfire Suppressor, MTZ Blackthorn Barrel, Choreo Eagle Eye, the high-grain ammo, and then the 20-round mag. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope these top 5 loadouts help you out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!